Hi guys, Jason here. Today I'm going to be reviewing this 464 New York Central Hudson made by MTH. This particular version of the Hudson was released in the 2008 Volume 1 catalog, and it is item number 20-3321-1. This happens to be one of my most favorite locomotives ever built, especially steam locomotives. It's proportioned well, it's highly detailed, and overall I think it's just a great representation of American steam. The front of this locomotive is just full of detail. One thing that I'll point out is this dummy coupler, which adjusts in and out, and you can also replace it for a O-scale coupler, so you can hook the front of this locomotive up to cars or another engine. Also has a bell on top, which can move back and forth if you push on it, and that is connected by a thin wire, which also adds a great touch of detail. One thing I really like about the more recent MTH steam locomotives is they have done away with the wired cable that would twist between the engine and the tender. Now they have this piece of metal that hooks in to the tender below, and that is how the engine communicates with the tender. And they've added this walkway which can move up and down. Note that the cab also has windows that can open and close, as well as these top hatches which open up, and there are 3 of those that are on top of the locomotive. You might also notice that the tender of this locomotive is very well detailed. Back here we have the coupler cut bar, which adjusts up and down. Down here by the wheels we have these separately applied chains all along the side of it. It also has a directional light right here that comes on when the engine is in reverse. Now, when this locomotive was released by MTH, it was actually released a few times. Once in 2005, and then it was re-released in 2008 with the most recent tooling. They also offered the locomotive with a pack of 5 heavyweight passenger cars. Now, those passenger cars were in the color of brown and kind of a white cream color. I did not get the 5-pack, and I'm glad I didn't, because I prefer the traditional two-tone gray New York Central passenger cars. And so that's what I've got here, and I'm going to have the steam engine pull these cars in just a minute. Okay, now that I've got it on the main line and I have the cars behind it, I'm going to go ahead and start this up, go through some of the sound features, and then run it around the layout a few times.
Welcome to Erie.
Left canteen, we got a schedule to keep. Grab a shovel and spread out that coal. She's in good shape. But you better look on that water level, will you? Water level down 4 feet. Chicago on track 2. Train number 90, the Iroquois. Welcome to Cleveland.
One more thing to note before I end this video is I wanted to point out the sound systems for this particular MTH steam locomotive. A lot of MTH steam locomotives intermix sound systems. What I mean by that is you might get a large articulated steam locomotive with some of the same sound settings as a much smaller size steam locomotive. Now, overall, that's not very prototypical because each steam engine has its own whistle sound, its own chuff sound, and intermixing sound systems for steam locomotives is unappealing to me, and it's something that I think MTH can really improve on. Now, this particular locomotive, I have not been able to find another steam locomotive with the same kind of sound settings. I know there's got to be some out there, but myself personally have not come across any yet. So I think the whistle is very unique. I think the sounds of the chuff rate are very unique. So overall, it's a very appealing locomotive to me. Now, once again, I know that there's going to be other locomotives out there with some of the same settings as this one. However, it is not using quite as many generic ones that are used on some MTH steam locomotives. And again, I'm just pointing out that I think this is something that MTH could improve on and maybe step it up to the sound level that companies like Lionel are putting out there. I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video of my review of this New York Central Hudson locomotive. If you have any further questions about it, please feel free to comment below or send me a message. But again, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.